Welcome to the Fulfilled Leadership Podcast. Today we're talking about subsidizing mediocrity, the hidden cost of doing everything yourself. So we're going to learn how, as a founder, you can become the bottleneck, become the problem in the company that is stopping it from growing because you're just used to fixing everything by yourself. So let's get into the episode.
The Fulfill Leadership Podcast.
Just sit at your decks. It's 9 p.m. on Tuesday. Your family is likely finishing dinner, or perhaps the house is already gone quiet, and you're staring at your screen, checking the slide deck, the project report, the piece of content that a team member just sent over 3 hours ago. You've been scrolling through it for the past 3 minutes, and you feel that familiar low-grade heat rising in your chest. It isn't a disaster. It isn't wrong in a way that would get you sued or your company bankrupt. But it is missing the soul. It is missing that final 20% polish. It is missing that strategic depth, that excellence you've built your brand around. In that moment, you are standing there thinking of two things. You are about to make two choices. Choice one, you pick up your phone, you call the team member, you walk them through the gaps, you explain why behind the what. You push the deadline back 12 hours and tell them you expect a revision that meets the standard. It feels slow, it feels like a confrontation and you don't have the energy for. Choice 2, you open the file, you move the margins, you rewrite the intro, you fix the data points, you spend 40 minutes of your life and your time fixing it, polishing it till it looks golden. You ship it, close the laptop and let out a sigh of relief. It's finally off your plate. If you're a high achieving founder, you pick choice 2 9 times out of 10. You tell yourself you are being efficient. You tell yourself you are being a servant leader who gets into the trenches with the team. You think you are being the hero. But here's the cold truth you've been avoiding. You aren't being a hero. You are subsidizing mediocrity. So there's a secret tax on your leadership when you go this route. When you fix a team member's work in secret and ship it, you think you solved the problem, but in reality, you've created a much larger invisible one. Think about the psychology of the other side of the screen. Your team member sent you 80% effort. They saw the final product go out to the client or the public and it looked perfect because you didn't say anything. Their brain registers a win. They believe they just hit a home run. They think, Sam loved my work. I'm doing a great job. So what do you do next week? They send you the same 80% effort again. Why wouldn't they? You've effectively made good enough the new company standard and you are personally paying the difference out of your own pocket. You are paying for their lack of growth with your own sleep, your family time, and your own mental health. This is the hidden tax of doing it yourself. You sit there more resentful by the day, wondering why you are the only person building who cares about quality, but the irony is you are the reason they don't care. You've built a system where they don't have to care. You've become the safety net, not a leader. You are managing a group of people who are simply wanting for you to finish their own work for them. So this is the reason why your team isn't growing. Growth only happens in the gap between what I did and what was required. By closing that gap yourself, you are robbing your team of the very friction they need to become elites. So in the Fulfill Leadership Method, we talk about leverage. Leverage isn't just about software or automation. It's about the ability to multiply your output through the hands of others. But leverage is impossible as long as you are the final polisher. If every document, every decision, every creative asset has to pass through your hands for a final fix, you haven't built a company. You've built a high-paying, high-stress job where you are the most overworked employee. You are likely afraid if you don't stop fixing things, the quality will drop. You are right, it might for a day, but the alternative is that the quality of your life continues to drop forever. You are currently trading your future freedom for a slightly better slide deck today. It's a bad trade. If you want to step out of firefighting mode into an architect role, you have to kill the I'll just do it myself. You have to kill that habit today. You have to implement a protocol called the red line return. The red line return is simple to understand but incredibly difficult for founders to execute because it requires discipline. Let me show you how it works. When works come to your decks and it doesn't meet the definition of done, you do not open the file. You do not fix the typo. You do not even move a margin. Instead, You send it back. You record a 60-second Loom video or leave a concise voice note. You say something like this. This is about 80% there. It misses the mark on the strategic alignment we discussed, and the formatting doesn't meet our brand standard. I'm sending you this back to you to finish. I need a revised version by 4 p.m. It will feel slow. You tell yourself, it took me 5 minutes to record that video and I'll have it fixed in 2. But you have to do the math on your leadership. If you fix it in 2 minutes every week for a year, you've wasted hours of your life on tasks that shouldn't be yours. You spend 5 minutes teaching your team to fix it once. You will never have to see that mistake again. You are investing 5 minutes to buy back a life of freedom. How can we architect the future? Real leadership isn't about holding the line. It's about being okay with a project being slightly late today so that it can be perfect without you next month. Your job as a founder or a CEO is not to be the best worker in the room. Your job is to be the architect who builds the people who do the work. Your job is to be an architect who build the people who do the work. If your team is capable but everything still runs through you, you don't have a talent problem. You have an executional friction problem. You are the bottleneck. So stop being the secret hero. Stop being the firefighter who loves the smell of smoke. Start being the leader who demands excellence and gives the team room to reach it. So I've put together the red line script, the meeting execution framework, something that will help you put everything we've just learned in this episode into practice. And you can grab that framework on my execution room on Patreon. The link will be in the description of this episode or as a pinned comment section on YouTube. If you feel this episode really did you good, please do well to subscribe. Follow this podcast and make it your go-to podcast daily for meetings, for execution, for leadership. Also, if you want me to audit your team, if you're having this problem in your team, you can book a leadership audit. Link will also be in the description of this episode. So thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next episode.